Okay. All right, welcome to Look at This in Focus, um, my second journal um, uh, critique, and this one was titled "Database Forensics and Security Measures to Defend from Cyber Threats." So, yeah, database forensics. Um, it's definitely a very growing, important field. Be able to dig and see um, uh, what's happened. So this is always a growing, maturing field. It's um, very interesting. So let's dig in. So how I graded the criteria on this particular one. One, I gave a 5. Two, I gave a 4. 3, I gave a 3. 4, I gave a 4. 5, I gave a 4. 6, I gave a 4. 7, I gave a 4. Um, 6, I gave a 4, and 7, I gave a 5. 8, it's a research track. 9 is no. 10 is no, and 11 is short, and 12 is yes. Okay. Let's swipe across, see where we're going. All right, summary. So one of the things they got into was database management systems, or DBMS. They hold a very important part of creating, operating, manipulating, maintaining, and securing data. Um, Protect databases. Security measures should be implemented at different levels of the database systems to maintain confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the data. So yes, it's very important. It's a kind of a um, um, kind of give and take. You have to protect the database, but you also have to allow access to it. And so, um, how do you balance that? How do you balance access while also trying to secure it as much as you can? Of course, we know you have different roles. Every user in the database has a role, and there's privileges that be given and taken away, and you need to educate your database users so that your database doesn't become compromised. Of course, it's very kind of basic things, but it gets into it. So going on, network security measures are used to prevent financial loss, productivity, and damage to the organization's reputation. Yeah, damage to the organization's reputation. You see that with a lot of companies who have database breaches with their with people's like Target. Um, I remember it's the only one I can think of right now, but they um, uh, they had a database breach years ago, and people had access to the credit cards, people's credit cards information that were stored on the Target's database. So going on, hackers use various tools and techniques to exploit vulnerabilities in databases, which can lead to loss of productivity, negative publicity, legal and financial penalties. Yeah, you can, it's not it's kind of hard right now for. I don't think a lot of lawmakers really understand. Um, Nor do probably a lot of lawyers understand unless they have dual degrees in both law and computer science, where they can truly understand how to uh, um, uh, how to implement laws around the advancement in technology. But even with that, technology advances so quickly. It's hard for law to kind of keep up with it, but there's general policies that are usually in place. Um, Challenges in database security include default settings, weak passwords, inappropriate user privileges. Oh yeah, that's a big one, and RDBMS applications vulnerabilities. Inappropriate user privileges. It's kind of interesting how sometimes you have things kind of slip through your hands. I know I used to work at a place where we had a computer that in our area that wasn't supposed to have certain privileges, and we we had it, and we were using using the computer to do various things. Nothing bad, but we were able to get on the internet and search websites, look at documentation in our on our database, which is something we can pretty much do. But this one had a lot more access, and the IT guy, he said he'd been when he discovered it, when he finally discovered it, he said, I've been wondering where this was and where these this information was coming from. But he knew he was having an issue somewhere. There was a computer somewhere, and that was it. And he looked at it, and he looked it over, and he saw what we were doing, and he said, "Oh yeah, let me shut this thing down." So he changed the privileges on the computer, and we couldn't do a lot of things we used to do on there. But yeah, he was not interested in a lot of giving us a lot of privileges on there. Hardly any. Just kind of basic documents and uh, well, storing writing files, and that's about it. So yeah, sometimes these things kind of slip through the cracks somehow. Remedies include regular auditing. Yeah, just like he did. Maybe he should have audited more often. He would have found it. Individual computers. That was a problem. So the individual computer had privileges that other computers didn't. It wasn't so much us; it was more so the computer itself. Proper password management, access control, vulnerability assessment, and applying patches and hotfixes. Proper security measures should be adopted at different levels in the network and database environments to avoid security problems. This can be done by implementing firewalls, intrusion detection, intrusion protection, and antivirus tools. The article also provides a detailed overview of database security controlling points for better implementation of security measures to defend from cyber threats. Okay. Measure for protecting database from cyber attacks. A specific device called a database firewall is used to monitor, identify, protect, and analyze attacks on the databases. It is configured with predefined rules and security audit policies as per organizational security policies. And can identify threat patterns. Threat patterns, that's very interesting. The article also discusses the role of web application firewalls, WAFs, in protecting web-based database applications from cyber attacks. WAFs filter user requests and pass them to the web server and can be configured to perform suitable security tasks based on the requirement, load, and network traffic. Physical security, disaster recovery, and crisis management plans are also important for maintaining a stable database environment. The article concludes by presenting a generalized database security measure implementation process, which involves identifying security requirements, selecting suitable security measures, and implementing them based on the controlling key points of each security device. All right, in summary, the specific device called a database firewall is used to monitor, identify, protect, and analyze attacks on databases, configured with predefined rules, security audit policies as per organizational security policy, and can be identify threat patterns. Okay, did I already? Okay, here we go. Conclusion of summary. The article concludes by reiterating the importance of knowledge and ability to identify, analyze, and react to threats. Database auditing must be carried out on a regular basis. Database forensics is essential to database security. I think that's one of the biggest things is the knowledge, importance of the knowledge and an ability to identify and analyze risk. So the knowledge of not only the people in charge, the administrators, but the database administrators, but the people, the users on the database. Yeah, they have to be carried on a regular basis. I kind of give an example of that. That there's different ways of doing it. It's not just the user, but sometimes the computer that the user is on, you have different levels of privileges. Database forensics is essential to database security. Yeah, and be able to look and see. When you haven't basically what you're looking at is when something happens, um, um, what do you do? You figure out what happened. So going on. Criterion 14. So it's a strong points. The strengths of the article lie in the various subjects that they cover. The article highlights the importance of knowledge and awareness of cyber threats. It emphasizes the need for security professionals to update their knowledge in this ever-expanding field. It provides practical advice on how to defend databases, including strengthening the networks, operating system, database management systems, application programs, web servers, application servers, and other related systems. It stresses the importance of designing and implementing a suitable security policy and carrying out database auditing based on this policy. It showcases the significance of database forensics in identifying, detecting, acquiring, analyzing, reconstructing database incidents. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to get. Reconstructing database incidents and relieving intruders' activities. Yep. In the databases. Finally, the language used really stood out. It uses clear and concise language to communicate technical concepts, making information accessible to a wide range of readers. There is kind of an issue I did have though. Let's see if it's I left it in here on the next point. So it's weaknesses. The weaknesses I found in the article were mainly related to detail and specificity. Some specific examples to go along with the critical information the article was espousing. Could really have made it much easier to read and clearer to any reader. The article provided a broad overview of database security concepts, but did not go into depth on any particular topic. As a result, readers may not gain a thorough understanding of any one aspect of the database security. The article, furthermore, could have gone into greater detail on how these topics affect specific types of businesses or organizations. 16. Detailed comments to the author. The main thing I would say is to think of the practical application of the topic and write about how the application is affected by the subject. It can be done by taking a case study and talking about how the application is affected by the subject. It can be done by taking a case study and talking about what should have been done, what should be done in the future, and what we learned. Defining the terms of the article in the article to a certain degree would help the flow of the article. Many phrases seem to need definition. It is obvious that the author is well versed in the subject, but descriptions of the phrases may help the reader understand. This is what I was going to get. So on a lesser note, the language and writing style is passive. There are various ways to write and make your writing easier and more pleasing to read. Combining ideas and sentences is a good way to keep the audience's attention. This is something I was taught earlier, just before I went to the high school. I have an aunt who has a medical doctorate, and when I was writing a paper over the summer, and while I was spending some time with her, and she looked at what I was writing, and she kind of gave me some tips on how to make your writing style more appealing. And one of the things she says, kind of combine ideas, make your sentences more complex. But yeah, also easier to read, more interesting. Try to give yourself a more interesting read. So it's not just for you to present information; it's for the reader to enjoy it. So it's one thing for you to create something. There's another thing if it actually wants to be read by somebody else. Comments for the journal editor. Overall, the article is well organized and well thought out. Like I said above, particular application could be discussed and help the reader to relate and help solidify the idea of the article. Applying a legal, cultural, and business point of view could help broaden the article's appeal and application. If you and where digital forensics can go, how AI can help, and how emerging technologies affect it, and what should be done can help the article in its scope. Conclusion. So, yeah, digital forensics. It was a good article, but a lot like the other article I looked at, it kind of lacked some of the depth I was looking for. Hoping to find some of these articles and kind of presenting a solution to a dilemma, and giving not only just kind of giving information, but also presenting ideas, theories on how to go forward, um, how to change things, how to where things might go, where you like to see things go. So yeah, that's where I think it could have been. That's kind of what I was looking for. A little disappointed, but overall, it's good reading. Open eyes with different kinds of terms and information that I can definitely look into and learn for myself. Thank you.